Hey everybody, it's Daniel. Welcome back to my sofa in beautiful Barcelona. Today we are going to talk about money. El dinero. This is just some simple vocabulary that you will need if you're ever going to buy something in Spanish, pay a bill in Spanish, go to a bank in Spanish. Useful vocabulary to talk about money in Spanish. So first, like I already mentioned, el dinero is money. I imagine that it's not a coincidence that some of the Middle Eastern countries have words like dinar for their currency. In Spanish, dinero. We have some historical connections between Spain and the Muslim world. Long story. Anyway, that is el dinero. After that, we could talk about una tarjeta. We could talk about una tarjeta de crédito, or we could talk about una tarjeta de débito. Usually it's not that important. You just say, ¿Quieres pagar con tarjeta? This is to pay by card. Tarjeta is card in this sense. So, pagar con tarjeta would be pay by card. Credito, debito for a credit card or a debit card. Usually if you're just buying something, nobody particularly cares what kind of card. But they could ask you, for example, at the supermarket or wherever you're shopping, they could ask you, tarjeta o efectivo? Tarjeta o efectivo? Efectivo is cash. So tarjeta o efectivo, card or cash. Efectivo is just, cash money, as we say. These days, you can pay for almost anything using a card, at least in Madrid and Barcelona. Maybe if you go to some small town, they're going to want cash. Here in Barcelona, a lot of people just want card because then they don't have to go to the bank and get change all the time. So, I don't know, the last few years, pretty much everybody has just moved to principally paying by card. We could talk about billetes, since we're talking about cash a little bit. Billetes are bills. Un billete de 50 is a 50 euro, bill. A $50 bill, I guess. If you say un billete de 50, it's going to depend on what country you're in. But yeah, here in Spain, un billete de 50. A 50 euro note would be better. Un billete de 50 in the US would be dollars, I suppose. And I'm guessing if you're in Venezuela or something and the currency is heavily inflated, you're talking about un billete de un millón or whatever. Shout out to everybody in Venezuela. Hope things start going better out there. But yeah, billete is a bill or a note in currency. Monedas are coins. Monedas. So you could have una moneda de un euro, una moneda de 50 céntimos, una moneda de 20 céntimos, etc. You could talk about el cambio. El cambio is change. If you're receiving change, el cambio. A useful question to know. ¿Tienes cambio de 50? Do you have change for a 50? Tienes cambio de 50 if you're asking for, if you want to pay by cash, but are unsure that the person will have enough change to change your bill. Tienes cambio de 50. So that's billetes, monedas, and cambio. El cambio. El cambio is change in a couple of other senses too. It's general change, things changing from one state to another. It's also, you could see the word cambio on a currency exchange. Back in the day when I was actually trying to exchange currency, I would go to places called cambio and nobody wanted to exchange currency in those places, but at like a Western Union, presumably that's what they do. That would be a cambio, a currency exchange. El ticket de compra. Ticket de compra. Ticket just comes from the English word ticket. Un ticket de compra. You could also call it un recibo. This is a receipt for paying for something. El ticket de compra, el recibo, the receipt. ¿Quieres el recibo? ¿Quieres el ticket? Would you like the receipt? La factura, we're talking a little bit more, more formally. La factura is the bill. La factura de la luz is the light bill. La factura del gas is the gas bill. La factura. As a self-employed person, I have to send out facturas. I have to bill my customers using an official format. La factura. Aquí tienes la factura. Here's the bill. In a restaurant, it would actually be la cuenta. La cuenta, por favor. If you want to pay in a restaurant, la cuenta, por favor. O puedes traer la cuenta, por favor. Can you bring the check, please? But if you just say la cuenta, por favor, they will get your meaning. That is in a restaurant. That's the check or the bill in a restaurant. If we're talking about paying by check, like nobody does that here. I've seen a few checks in my time in Spain, but, less than one per year, let's say. I used to get paid by check at one of my jobs, but generally your average person doesn't pay by check. But in any case, that would be un cheque. You probably don't need to know that. You could also pay by transferencia bancaria. This is more common. Today, or these days, there's an app that makes it easier to do this. Te mando un bizum is the official expression. Bizum is the name of the app. Te mando un bizum. I've never used this, but it's just an easy way of making small bank transfers. If you want to make a larger bank transfer, una transferencia bancaria, which comes from una cuenta bancaria. El banco is your bank. Una cuenta bancaria. Bancaria is like the adjective. I'm in English, bank account. Bank is also the adjective, but bancaria. Una cuenta bancaria. You could say una cuenta corriente, which is like your checking account, even though you're not writing checks, because nobody does that. The British might call it a current account. Una cuenta corriente. In American English, we usually call it a checking account. Other options, una cuenta de ahorro, a savings account. Una cuenta de ahorro. That comes from the verb ahorrar, which is to save, ahorrar. After that, just a couple more words to talk about money. We have sacar dinero, which is to take out money. Sacar dinero. Sacar is remove or take out. And we have ingresar dinero. Ingresar dinero is to put money into the bank. Generally, these days, you would just go to an ATM and do this all in an ATM. Nobody's, standing in line at a bank office. If you stand in line at a bank office with less than 500 or 1,000 euros, they'll probably just tell you to go outside to the ATM and do it there. But yeah, sacar dinero, ingresar dinero. Ingresar is, it's a formal word for enter if you're entering a building, for example. But in this case, it's just to put money in your bank account. I guess since we're talking about it, let's do one more word. El cajero automático. Cajero is the cash point. The cash point. La caja could be the cash register at a supermarket or at a shop. La caja. Literally, caja is just box, but they also use it to mean like a bank or credit union sort of thing. Una caja de ahorros is like a credit union type organization. or savings and loan. God knows the difference between these things officially. But un cajero automático is the ATM. Un cajero automático. Cajero is the person. If it is a woman, it would be la cajera. It's the cashier. So cajero automático is the automatic teller machine. I guess cajero is the name of the person who works behind the desk at the bank also, but most banks strongly discourage you from actually talking to a real person. They want you to use the website or the cajero automático. So if you're in the bank and you have a stack of money that you want to put in the bank account and they say, el cajero está afuera, they would tell you, use the cajero outside, the ATM machine outside. El cajero está afuera. Anyway, that's that. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you have a great day wherever you are in the world. This was just some basic vocabulary. You'll probably need more if you're going to seriously be living in Spain, but that'll get you started on some of the financial vocabulary that you need in basic transactions. Nada más por hoy. I hope you have a wonderful day and subscribe to the channel. Send me a donation if you would like. I appreciate everybody who has donated to the cause here. Go to expatmadrid.com/donate. You can buy me a virtual coffee or bottle of sparkling water, for example. And subscribe, give me a like, enjoy life, and hasta la próxima. Bye.